Yes, guys, how you doing? UFC 300 Max Holloway just pulled off an absolute masterclass, knocking out Justin Gaethje with 2 seconds left on the clock. Currently doing his post-fight speech, calling out Ilia Topuria. What a guy. Post-fight speech going on now. Real BMF, absolutely. I swear that was real Hall of Fame stuff from Max Holloway. I want 600k. That was fight of the night. Yeah, rightly so. That might have been a 600k punch. And he wants to go on Joe Rogan as well. One of the best of all time, says Joe Rogan. He's not wrong. Max Holloway, just a very, very unique guy. Hey, unbelievable scenes. Seeing the replay, I mean, that is a special finish. You had to feel for Justin Gaethje though, because oh my goodness, he absolutely folded him. You have to feel for Justin Gaethje with those eye pokes, but there's nothing you can dispute about that finish. That is legendary from Max Holloway. I think there was a time when people questioned Max's power. Well, he certainly showed that he can finish there. And I mean, looking at the record now, convincing against Arnold Allen, finished the Korean Zombie in style. That was another amazing knockout. Back-to-back knockouts against two of the best in the business, two fan favorites in Korean Zombie and Justin Gaethje. I mean, wow. Max Holloway's resume is pretty special, you have to say. I mean, back-to-back finishes against Jose Aldo. He beat Pettis. He beat Brian Ortega. Beat the brakes off Brian Ortega. Give him Topuria next. That was something very special, guys. Just absolutely reeling from that, really. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, we knew that was going to be something special, and just delivered in spades. So far, the whole card has been fantastic, you have to say. Those two guys, man, we're lucky to have them. We're going to have a piece of history coming up as well. Zhang Weili, another fan favorite. Yan Xiaonan, the first all-Chinese title fight in UFC history. It's going to be a good one. Looking forward to this. You've got to say Zhang Weili's the favorite, no? Going into this one. Chuck some comments down if you got them. We've got, did Max temporarily move to 155? Did Max temporarily move to 155? What's up, Amelia? He can fight at 145 too. Yeah, absolutely. Max, we've seen him at 155 before. He fought Dustin Poirier for the interim title, and Dustin roundly beat him. So he's always been a big 45er, Max, but he looked much more natural fighting at 55 this time out. He had more time. I think they were talking about it on the commentary. He had more time to be more of a natural 55er on this occasion. Last time when he fought Dustin, I think it was more of a short-term thing. Big up Marcus Mustard on the stream. Cheers for the comment. What did you think of that fight, Marcus? For me, that fight goes into the Hall of Fame one day. It has to. Max Holloway could be into the Hall of Fame for multiple reasons as an individual, but that fight was something really special. I think it delivered. Sometimes you just know. I was in Madison Square Garden for the original BMF fight between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. It was a crazy night. I was a bit late for whatever reason, and I got out of the taxi, and the Diaz brothers were walking to the stadium. And so I got out of the taxi right into the Diaz brothers entourage. And then it took me a while to get into the stadium because Donald Trump was there. It was absolutely wild. And then we turn up. And I think it went to round 4 before a doctor's stoppage stopped it. Masvidal won. It was a great fight, but people were really disappointed to see it stopped. A BMF fight stopped in that fashion. But you have to say, you know, of course, Masvidal and Diaz very much embodying BMF spirit. But this matchup, Holloway versus Gaethje, was just so good. And I'm just so happy to see fights really live up to the billing in that way. Yeah, Marcus, it was the first time a president was at a UFC fight. It was a mad atmosphere that night. Madison Square Garden. That was my first time at Madison Square Garden. It was, you know, that was, and then in the post-fight press conference, you had Jorge Masvidal drinking, I think, Recuerdo, his mezcal, and then eating his double pizza, and he had so much charisma going into the fight. I think Roberto Duran was backstage with him. Rogan was backstage with Dana White. This was back when I was at Fox Sports and I had their rights holders. So I had access to all of those backstage one-on-one interviews. Interviewed Kamaru Usman that day and Alexander Volkanovski. It's one of my favorite days in my career, I'd say. Here's the Pantoja versus Erceg card. Did an interview with Steve Erceg earlier this week for Low Kick MMA. What a rocky story. 10th ranked in the division, getting a title shot. He's only had a few fights in the UFC, fighting in Brazil against a Brazilian on the same card as Jose Aldo, marking his big return. Looking forward to that and seeing what he can do. I'm a big fan of Alexandre Pantoja, though. It's been interesting, this division in recent years. Lots of changing hands of the title. What are your predictions, Marcus, for Zhang Weili against Yan Xiaonan? How do you see that one going down? If we just get the card up. Dun, dun, dun. Where have we? Yeah, no. UFC 300. How about that Yuri fight, guys? Oh my goodness. Yuri Prohaska, I don't mind saying, is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Just such a unique character. And suffered a bit of adversity with the leg kicks from Rakic, but he then came back in true Yuri style, put the volume on him, and got the finish. Yuri, no doubt, will be fighting the winner of the main event, Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira. Bo Nickel got the win against Cody Brundage, as I think many thought he would. It was a stiff test for Bo Nickel. Cody Brundage is a good fighter. But Bo Nickel, very much the real deal, and has massive confidence in his own ability, and rightly so. Then we saw Charles Oliveira, another fan favorite, with 2 near finishes via submission. Had a really tight guillotine in against Starukian, but one of my favorite moments of that fight was the axe kick. Oh my goodness, like the flexibility of the Russian is something else to get his leg that high. Marcus says Rio cards and Brazil fighters have talented fight energy. Yeah, absolutely. Rio cards are something special. It's always interesting when you see foreign fighters going into enemy territory in Brazil. They have massive, I'd say hostile energy that they have to go into. We saw Colby Covington famously in Sao Paulo with his filthy animals comment, just riling up the crowd. It's not something I would ever consider doing. My word, that was classic Colby. That was really when Colby the heel started to come out to play. So yeah, that Rio card's going to be really intriguing. I think Pantoja's one of the most interesting fighters in the UFC at the moment. Really well rounded. Do you think Steve Erceg is going to pull off an upset? He kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of people don't really know who he is. Seemed like a really nice dude when I interviewed him, but I think there's a certain impetus on you when you arrive in the UFC. You've got to show character. You've got to show personality. You've got to be able to sell fights. I'm not saying you've got to come out and trash talk people, but you've got to show who you are and make people care. So the onus is on Steve Erceg. And I'll tell you what, he doesn't need to be a big talker if he goes in there and is able to pull out a surprise finish against Pantoja. He goes in there as a massive underdog. But the UFC tend to get these things right. They're no mugs when it comes to fight promotion. You know, they will have given Erceg this shot for a reason. They see something in him. He was a world champion 2 times outside of the UFC and promotions like Eternal, I think. So, but the UFC, of course, is the top table. It's a different ball game. The Yuri right hand and the finish, says Marcus Mustard. Yuri did so good. Yuri Prochazka, man. Tell me a fighter that even compares to him in terms of his character. I just find Yuri so intriguing. One thing I always say about combat sports in general is you have to have a reason to really care. Otherwise, it's just blue corner versus red corner. And why should we watch? Why should we care? Yuri makes me want to watch every single time. He speaks in such a slow and considered way. I've had the privilege to interview him about 3-4 times, way back from when he was fighting in Rising. And you ask him a question, and of course, English is his second language, but he really thinks about it before he answers. And then he just does crazy things inside the octagon. That finish against Dom Reyes was just stunning. And he's added another one to the collection tonight. I just want to actually bring up Yuri's record because I just think I think he's going to hold the belt again before too long. What's your predictions for the main event, guys? I'm interested to know. People saying that Hill probably has more weapons, but Pereira more ferocious, more knockout power. What do you think? For me, I think Pereira just, his hands are just deadly weapons, and I favor him slightly going into this one. But Hill, have people forgotten how good Hill can be? Don't count him out. Count him out at your peril. Bringing up Yuri's record, I mean, look at that winning streak. Just look at that winning streak. I mean, he used to be a Russian football hooligan and fight in massive group brawls. Just adds another level of intrigue to his story, in my opinion. But yeah, I love the fact that he went over to Japan, fought in Rising, true samurai spirit, big fan of Musashi. And I mean, look at that record. It's just so impressive. So many finishes as well. So many knockouts. I mean, this guy doesn't really do decisions. He went the distance with King Mo. Got his revenge for he got knocked out in 2015 by King Mo in the Grand Prix. And then got his revenge. And then was that his last fight in Rising? No, he had a couple more after that. Yeah, after the CB Dollar, he finished Fabio Maldonado, finished CB Dollaway, and then this was. And remember, Özdemir was a guy who was really fancy to be right up there at light heavyweight. He finished him in the second round, finished Reyes, went the distance with Glover to win in an amazing fight. Sorry, submitted Glover in Singapore in a classic. And then, he lost to Alex Pereira, but a lot of people could fall foul of the power of the Brazilian. But I just thought it was so impressive today how he just looked unshaken by those leg kicks and looked really convincing with the finish in round 2. Just Yuri Prochazka, you cannot help but love that guy. Marcus, Erceg will have me watching, but one of my favorite moments was from Pantoja. Yeah, are you talking about the post-fight speech when he talks about his dad? I think you'd have to have a heart made of stone to not feel that. But just generally, I think all of Pantoja's fights are really, really interesting. I just think he's a huge talent. There's a reason he's holding the belt, right? Zhang Weili currently making the walk. They've really done well to put together so many fan favorites on this card. Do you think Zhang Weili do you think she's going to get a finish? I think it will be an upset. if Yan Xiaonan wins this, just on paper and in every way, Zhang Weili's got to be the favorite. She trains over in Bang Tao. Big up Bang Tao, Muay Thai and MMA in Phuket, Thailand. I've trained there a few times, and it's one of my favorite places to train. I did a class Brad Riddell was taking there the other day. It was really interesting. There was people like Jimmy Crute in the class, UFC fighter, and good technique. I would recommend it. Alexandra Pantoja. Let's have a look at his record right now. I usually like Tapology, but we're just gonna go with Marcus. Says after Pantoja won the belt, in his speech he said, "Are you proud of me now, Dad, holding the belt after beating Moreno?" Dude, I'm with you. That was an epic moment. I love that. I'm glad that resonated with you as well, because again, it's all about making us really care about the stories, and that, you know, everybody who didn't know Pantoja before or his story suddenly was intrigued by what was going on. I mean, that strikes a chord with everybody. Everybody had a dad once, you know. Hopefully a lot of us still do. Looking at his record then, I was really interested when Manel Kape fought him on his debut. I never know whether we say Cape or Cape. I think he says Cape, and I think some Americans say Cape, but I don't know. I was watching Manel when he was in Ryzen, interviewing him when he was in Ryzen, and I've always thought he was a supreme talent. He rubbed some people up the wrong way, but huge talent. I fully expected him to come into the UFC and challenge for the title. But his debut was against Pantoja. Pretty tough debut. And he looked all right in that fight. You know, he went the distance, lost the unanimous decision. Pantoja then went on to beat Royval, Perez, Moreno, and Royval again. Pretty awesome run, you have to say. He is 33 years old now, but a worthy champion. And I think it's going to be a fun fight, but Ursig, massive underdog. We'll certainly be interested to see how it pans out. Crazy. I read a book about football hooliganism. Didn't know that about Yuri. US doesn't have that. Yeah, what book did you read, Marcus? Was it any good? Yeah, Yuri used to be a full-on football hooligan. And then interesting that he now has this samurai code that he lives by. I find it very interesting. You probably heard that story where he spent 2 days, I think it was before the Pereira fight, he spent 2 days inside a dark room, as in no lights, just with his thoughts. I asked him about it. You know, he said everybody should try it at least once. I don't know whether I fancy trying it. Would you do it? It's certainly an interesting concept, especially if you have a big life event coming up and you really need to take away all distraction. We're moments away from Yan Xiaonan versus Zhang Weili. Interesting. I see Bang Tao from Korean John on YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, Bang Tao is run by the Hickman brothers, who you might know as some of the best MMA coaches in the world. Amazing wrestling. You know, they work with Volkanovski, Adesanya. They've worked with Zhang Weili. Yuri Prohaska's trained at Bang Tao. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, so I'm an hour away from Phuket. So I try to get some training in there whenever I can. Those guys used to be at Tiger Muay Thai, another very famous gym. They have one of the coolest logos of all gyms in the world, I would say, and their merch is just flying off the shelves. They do some really cool kind of Miami Heat inspired jerseys that you should grab if you go there. Don't remember the book. A long time ago, drinking coffee at Barnes and Noble, English football hooliganism biography. But fair enough. As you can see, I'm a massive football fan. I like to collect jerseys. This is Japan World Cup, 1997 pre-World Cup. Hidetoshi Nakata on the back, one of my all-time favorite players. Predictions. Zhang Weili, Yan Xiaonan. Who is going to win, Marcus? And do you have the fight on the TV right now? Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate the comments. Did this as a bit of an experiment. I've got almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube now, and I haven't really posted any videos in a long time. So I just thought, well, I should do something with it. And the fights have been so amazing today. I just thought I wanted to come on and chat about them. And I was supposed to be joined by Luke Welling, who's a commentator at Fight Circus. His internet was awful, so we're going to try and have another crack at that. And going to do one of these with John Nutt soon, who is the president of Fight Circus. If you guys don't know Fight Circus, it is absolutely one of the funnest promotions ever. It's more on the entertainment side, but 2 versus 1 fights, Wheel of Violence. They've had card jitsu. They've had grab versus Food Panda and bare knuckle. Bill Burr shared the fight of John Nutt against Bank of No Money 2 versus 1 in the last main event. John Nutt fought Bank of No Money again and did a cartwheel kick just after the opening bell and broke Bank's forearm. And then I think Bank punctured his rib or something. This is John Nutt, who's like in his 40s, hosted the whole show, then fought in the main event. So I want to do a podcast with him. Oh, Zhang Weili is swinging. 3.5 minutes gone in round 1. Oh, interesting. Marcus believes it's going to be Yan Xiaonan to win this one. Any other predictions, guys? We have 2 people on the stream. I love this StreamYard software, though. It's awesome how you can just bring little things up, bring up people's records. Oh, nice left hook by Zhang, but Yan Xiaonan takes her down. Why do you think Yan is going to win this fight, Marcus? I'm interested to know. Let's have a look at her on Tapology. Is Tapology your go-to, or are you a Sherdog guy? Yeah, Rogan just said the fact that she can take Zhang Weili down like that is absolutely huge. I think I'm inclined to agree. Just it gives her something to think about, right? So as we know, Yan came into this fight on the back of 2 straight wins. She beat Mackenzie Dern and then got the finish against Jessica Andrade. I think Jessica Andrade now has the most finishes out of any female fighter in the UFC. She drops her. Yan Xiaonan just dropped her. Oh my goodness. I think it was a 1-2. Bang, bang. Drops her. Yan Xiaonan got straight back up. Damn, you might have called this, Marcus. I don't have a strong lean, but feel like the challenger is hungrier than the fighter at champ status. Well, you might have called this, dude. That was quality from the challenger. I'd like to see a replay. I was kind of focusing on 2 screens, but I think it was just a 1-2. Would like to have another look at it. I think it shocked the champ. She bounced right back up. Yan Xiaonan trains with Uriah Faber, I think, in Sacramento, Team Alpha Male. They have quite a big Chinese contingent over there. What have you thought of UFC 300 so far? You haven't been able to watch, right? Because you don't order pay-per-views. Where are you based, Marcus? In the US. Oh, nice kind of judo throw there by the champ. She now has half guard. I'll tell you what, Zhang Weili's ground game has improved so much since she first arrived in the UFC. And that is partially in credit to the aforementioned Hickman brothers over at Bangtao Muay Thai and MMA. They've really helped improve her wrestling. I've always rated her striking. Oh, she's now throwing down the ground and pound. She has the back. Oh, she's got the rear naked choke. Zhang Weili. Oh, it's tight. It's tight. I think she's going to get this, guys. Zhang Weili with the rear naked choke. Seconds left, though. 8 seconds to go. Will she get the tap? 5 seconds to go. It's really tight. 3, 2, 1. Yan Xiaonan's going to hang on. She's hung on. Oh, that was so close to the finish. Commentators reckon that she was out. She looks dazed and confused. She doesn't know which way to go for her corner. That was close. That was so close. Zhang Weili gets dropped, comes back, gets the rear naked choke, squeezes, and almost puts Yan Xiaonan unconscious with seconds to go. Just having a look at the replay now. I mean, her eyes are open. The commentary team is saying she's out. Yes. Once Zhang Weili let go, she kind of looked to flop a little bit and looked like she might have been out. Yeah. It's been a hell of a round. Oh, what kind of recovery is she going to have on that? I mean, I once had an experience where I was interviewing Misha Tate and I asked if she would choke me, as you do. And she went full on for the squeeze. And I was, man, I tapped immediately. My neck was like sore for days. She really, and it was a wild feeling. I didn't feel myself start to go out, but I tapped very quickly. I think it's available on her YouTube channel. Oh, nice kind of side kick from Yan Xiaonan. From Zhang Weili. Oh, 1-2 combination from the challenger. Oh, swing and a miss with the leg kick from Zhang Weili. Yeah, it's been a banger. I'll tell you what. Overall, all these fights have lived up to expectation. They're standing. Zhang Weili takes her down. She gets right back up. She's taking her down again. She's taking the back. Is she going to go for another choke here? She might have a Kimura as well. Oh, she's ground and pound, trying to soften her up on the back, trying to get that rear naked choke in again. They're up against the fence. Yan turns back into her. And Zhang is now standing up against the fence. Yan Xiaonan is on the floor. She's in half guard. This is dominant stuff from Zhang Weili, but oh, she's got an arm. She's got an arm. This has been a really good fight so far. What do you guys think? Who's watching this? Marcus, you don't have it, right? I'll try to keep you informed. Again, cool of you guys to join. I really enjoyed just talking about the fights with people and being able to pull stuff up at will. Zhang Weili is just such a likable fighter, isn't she? The way she conducts herself out of the ring, I think she's a true champion. But also, she's a fun fighter. I think that finish in Singapore against Joanna Jędrzejczyk was epic. And the way that she was able to come back from adversity, it felt like everything she touched turned to gold for a while. And then she suffered those losses, that head kick to Rose, back-to-back losses to Rose. I think the second one was a bit contentious. But the way she came back from that, I thought was really, really impressive. Marcus, what's your prediction for the main event? How do you see it going? Zhang Weili is on top right now. Has her up against the fence, trying to take the back again. She's got it. But Yan is scrambling, trying to get out of danger. Zhang Weili dropping some short elbows. Oh, man, that max KO is just wild. Absolutely wild. Let's see what Twitter's got for us. Oh, this is bad for Yan. She's got... Zhang Weili is on her back, raining down ground and pound, raining down punches. Yan Xiaonan with nowhere to go. Zhang Weili looks moments away from locking in the rear naked choke again. Or this fight could get finished from punches because Yan is doing nothing about it. She's just taking punishment. I'll tell you what, this fight could be over. Yan is not defending herself. She is not defending herself. The punches are raining heavier now, those left hands. Here it is. Here's the rear naked choke, but Yan has just managed to get a hand in to stop it. I thought that fight was going to get finished for a moment. Let's get that max knockout up on the screen. I think it has to be done. Boom. Yeah. That max KO just absolutely savage. Just whoa. I think any normal human being would not have wanted to be there if you were Justin Gaethje. As soon as you broke your nose and got eye poke number one, you'd be looking for a way out, but not Justin Gaethje. Yeah, that is crazy. Yan Xiaonan is still fighting. You know, she's still there. She's back on the feet. 20 seconds to go in the round two, and she's still there, man. Yeah, that's one of... Oh, beautiful right hand from Yan Xiaonan. Oh, lovely exchanges. Both women connected at the end of the round. This is a really good fight, I must say. I suppose Jamal can win outboxing Poatan Pereira. Big call again, Marcus Mustard. I don't know if he's going to outbox him, man. I don't know. Poatan's hands are up there with some of the very best in the UFC. That's a big call. Anybody else got any predictions for this one? This is a fascinating battle. Zhang Weili, Yan Xiaonan. Yan Xiaonan very close to getting finished at the end of the first round. Zhang Weili got dropped and then won round two convincingly. Again, came close to finishing the fight, dropping the ground and pound. So I wonder how many people are tuning in China. A lot, I imagine. What did you think about UFC 300? Well, I'm a little filthy casual. I missed some of the prelims because it was super early in the morning here. But from what I've watched, everything has lived up to expectation. I'd say that the Aljo fight versus Cater was a great win for Aljo, but like not that fun to watch, really. Cater did nothing, and Aljo just did what he needed to do. Bo Nickel, you know, he keeps surging. Nice kick from Jan. Sorry. Yeah, the fights I was most looking forward to delivered massively. As I say, I'm a huge Yuri fan. That was awesome. The BMF fight, one of the biggest moments of drama we've ever seen. It almost had shades of Yair Rodriguez versus Korean Zombie with that elbow knockout in the last second. Just the fact that Max had already won the fight and didn't need to do that, went to the center. And who does that to Justin Gaethje, man? Who does that to Justin Gaethje? Oh, okay. Zhang is on her back, and Yan is telling her to get up. Get up. Yan doesn't want to get down there with her. She's saying stuff to her in Mandarin, I believe. Unless she's just saying, like, unless she's just making kind of fight noises. But, yeah, this is kind of strange. Zhang is just lying on her back. I mean, how long can this go on for? Yan is just standing and kicking her legs. Zhang looks tired and is just lying on her back. This is a strange portion of the fight. The referee has done the right thing and finally stood them up. That was silly. One thing you always say, I think, is that Zhang Weili's cardio is phenomenal. So I don't think that will be a major issue. She looked to her corner. I don't know what the communication was there, but we've got 2:45 left in round three. Yan has started to use her kicks well, I think, using her range. She's a slightly taller fighter, I think. And man, Yan looks really dialed in right now. After getting so close to getting finished. Nice body kick from Zhang, but counter leg kick right away from the challenger. This is really fascinatingly poised. Now this could go either way, I think. Yan, looking at her face, she just looks razor focused right now. Who's your favorite female fighter, Marcus, right now? Zhang Weili has always been up there for me. Yeah, as I said before, I think just the way that she conducts herself outside of the ring. And you remember that post fight when she won the title? She was like, "My name is Zhang Weili. Remember me." I thought the way that she'd made such an effort to learn English really spoke to an understanding of what it takes to be like a great champion, to be a global star, and to resonate with the fans. 90 seconds left in round 3. Zhang Weili is on her back with Yan in her guard. Yan has grown into this fight massively. Really, you have to give her credit because we've seen that. Oh, she catches a kick and takes her down. Zhang Weili is on her back once more. The tide has turned in this fight. It was Zhang Weili. Remember, Zhang Weili got dropped early in round 1. They're both back on their feet. 45 seconds left in the third. Nice side kick from Yan. Okay, so apparently Zhang's corner is saying, telling her not to kick, if I heard that right, or telling her to kick. Sorry, she just did a nice kind of side kick to the thigh of Yan. She swarmed in with the 1-2 combination, now grappling Yan up against the cage. Just 5 seconds left to go in round 3. I think that Zhang needs to get to the corner and regroup. That was Yan's round. I have this 2-1 now. Is anybody else scoring this? I like female fights. Norma Dumont, Natalia Silva. Favorites is a hard question. Thanks for your answer. Yeah. It's an interesting time in many respects. Alexa Grasso being the champ, I think, is quite interesting at flyweight because having seen Valentina dominate for so many years, sometimes you need that bit of freshness. I'm just listening to the corners right now. Uriah Faber saying, "This is why we spar hard. She hasn't done this with you." Interesting. I like Thug Rose. Yeah, you gotta love Thug Rose. She's definitely got to be considered one of the greatest female fighters of all time. There's a little bit of damage on the face of Yan Xiaonan now. This is where the hard work pays off, ladies and gentlemen. The arc of this fight has been so interesting. Going into it, I just thought Zhang Weili, it's going to be a tough battle, but she's going to take it. Now, if I had to call it right now, Yan Xiaonan is going to win this fight as it stands in round 4. I still have her down on the scorecards, but she's just been taking momentum and rising into the ascendancy. It looks like she's really put in the work at Team Alpha Male. Nice 1-2 combination from the challenger. Oh, wild swing and a miss with the 1-2 from Zhang Weili. Oh, she's dropped her with the right hand. Yan Xiaonan drops the champion again. Zhang Weili has been dropped twice in this fight. 2 knockdowns for Yan Xiaonan. Oh, one fight that we haven't mentioned much is that Charles Oliveira fight. And this could be really interesting because that in a way, was a tough fight to call, right? How much do you value submission attempts? Similarly, in this fight, right? Yan Xiaonan has dropped her twice, but there has been some close submission attempts from Zhang Weili. She came very, very close to choking her opponent out. So which way will the judges score this? Right now, I have it 2-2. Anyone else have any thoughts on that one? Looking forward to Tabitha Ricci, Baby Shark. Also, she's matched up with Tisha Torres. Yeah. I've interviewed her a couple times. She's cool. I like her. She's a badass. Awesome grappling. Okay. Zhang Weili has Yan's back up against the cage. This has been the area where she's gotten the better of the action, you have to say. Marcus says, scoring is half the fun. I don't know how to score leg kicks versus face punches. Yeah, that's an interesting one, actually. In Muay Thai, kicks always score more than punches, I believe. So this is not Muay Thai, though. I mean, there's nothing better, though, than like a clean punch to the face that drops your opponent. But I mean, we've seen all sorts in this sport down the years. I mean, we've seen people get finished by leg kicks. My leg turned purple the other day from getting leg kicked by an MMA fighter. I don't know who he fights for, but he was just savaging my leg. And man, it was purple for a good while. It's not nice. It's not nice, those leg kicks. Yeah, Zhang Weili just looking for that rear naked choke. She's taking her back again. Trying to get this round back. She gets a submission attempt having got dropped. Again, it's how do you weight the scoring? I still think that I'm just going to make sure I'm plugged in. That's better. All right, Zhang Weili has the back, dropping ground and pound again. Control time, 2 minutes 34 for the champ in this round 4. But she did get dropped. So this is really strong from the champion, showing why she's the champ. Dropping hammer fist. A couple of those look like they might be to the back of the head. She's trying to create that window for the rear naked choke, but just 40 seconds left to go in the round if she's going to get it. She looks refreshed. Man, this fight has had loads of different subplots. It's swung in momentum back and forth. Lived up to the billing for a co-main event. I've enjoyed it, and it's been good having you here, Marcus. Thanks for the comments, mate. As I said, yeah, so fun now that we can just go live and talk about fights with people halfway across the world. Very enjoyable. There goes the clapper. 10 seconds left in the round. Zhang Weili has Yan's back up against the cage, finishing the round strong. Great response from getting dropped, you have to say. Well, after this, just the main event. Whoa. Ryzen still uses Pride scoring my overall impression instead of 10-point must system. Yeah, good question. I know that they allow soccer kicks, which I am a fan of. One championship scores the fight in its entirety. I still think that they do score round by round. I'm not sure. Comment if anybody can clarify that. I'm a big fan of Ryzen, though. Do you watch Ryzen? Yeah, I love the pageantry in Japan, and it's a dream of mine to go to a Ryzen show one day. I went to one championship in Japan. It was so much fun. There's just something special about that country. Full stop. It's so intriguing. And when it comes to martial arts, so much history. But yeah, soccer kicks for me, you should just allow them. if you're going to take knees to the face, why not soccer kicks? I don't know. One championship used to allow soccer kicks, then they outlawed them. But these guys are savages. I don't know, man. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but I like soccer kicks. What do you guys think of soccer kicks? Here we go, the 5th and final round. Scoring submissions and body work is hard also. Oh, head kick from Zhang Weili. Yan just ate it. Tough as nails, both these women. Bam. Oh, Zhang goes for the takedown. I think she acknowledges that she's been much stronger on the ground. And Yan seems to acknowledge it as well. She scored 5 out of 8 takedowns in the fight. Marcus says, I don't watch much besides UFC. Yeah, sometimes there's just not enough hours in the week, right? Especially if you have a job, you have kids. There's a lot of MMA on. I watch a lot of One Championship because I work for South China Morning Post, and I like Muay Thai. I love Muay Thai. I like watching people like Superlek, Jonathan Haggerty. I would definitely recommend checking out their fights when they're happening because it's just all action and really good technique. Superlek versus Takeru was so much fun. You want to talk about leg kicks? Have a look at Takeru's leg after that fight. Right hand from Yan, nicknamed 9. Oh, nice side kick to the chest from Yan. I tell you what, Yan Xiaonan has impressed me. Her striking's impressed me. Her resilience has impressed me. Has she got enough in her locker to get this done? Right now, we have Zhang Weili again taking the back, looking for that rear naked choke. 3 minutes left to go in the contest now. Yan Xiaonan just trying to fight her off, has spun to turn her front to her. But again, Zhang is relentless. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but Zhang Weili's ground game has improved immensely. It's really evolved so much. And that's a credit, I think, to the Hickman brothers. Hickman Brothers Wrestling over at Bang Tao in Phuket, Thailand. She's really added to her game. Now she's working from half guard. Trying to find the back again. A couple of shots to try and create the openings from Zhang, look like maybe to the back of the head, but you often see those go as Yan was moving around. She's determined, I think, to seal this with a rear naked choke. She's looking for it. Yan has been tricky in her defense, though, and not left herself wide open. But this Zhang is getting the body triangle locked in. 1:45 to go in round 5. It's not clean at the moment. She's got one arm around the throat. Yan is wriggling around, sprawling, scrambling, trying to get out of this position. But Zhang Weili is relentless. Only less than 90 seconds to go in the contest. Is Zhang Weili going to find this choke? Even if she doesn't, this time spent looking for submissions, looking to finish the fight, might be enough for the judges. They always say, and I agree, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, or the woman in this case. This isn't a good look for Yan as a challenger with a minute to go. Just defending, fighting against submission attempts. Hasn't had as much in the way of output, in the way of offense in this 5th and final round. And that's going to be fresh in the judge's mind. I think the champ is retaining the belt 3 rounds to 2. Anybody else who's watching, let us know what you think. Wrestling and being multi-dimensional is so dominant in MMA. Absolutely. If you look at the matchup between Aljamain Sterling and Calvin Kattar, it was the perfect matchup for Aljo. Just a really formidable featherweight. somebody with a good record, hasn't been in the octagon for a while, maybe a bit of ring rust, but a striker nonetheless. Just Aljo just could do that all day. He looked like he could have gone 15 rounds, 20 rounds, and it would have been the same outcome. Was never troubled by Keita, who didn't have his best night. And that's all she wrote. I think we're going to have and still here, guys. Jan needs a Leon Edwards moment. She did need a Leon Edwards moment, or maybe even a Max Holloway moment, but it wasn't to be. I think Jan comes out of this with a lot of respect. She dropped the champion twice. That's massive. And she didn't get finished. She came within seconds of getting finished. She didn't get finished. She not only didn't get finished, she came back and looked really good. So she's the number one contender. What's next for her? I would wonder. The thing about this division is a lot of these women have fought already. That is one factor, right? Let's have a look at it. I enjoy that side kick from Jan. Really nice from her today. That was one of her best techniques. Kind of a Sander technique. Okay, let's have a look at the rankings, guys. So, the champ, and then we have Jan at number one. Tatiana Suarez. It's got to be Tatiana Suarez next for Zhang Weili, right? Then Yan Xiaonan. Who should she fight next? That is the question. We had Marina Rodriguez fought today and lost, right? I missed that fight. Was that a good fight? And Tabitha Ricci, it'll be interesting to see if she can broach the top 10 and get herself in contention. Yeah, 3 rounds to 2 for Zhang Weili, I would say, guys. The decision is about to be read. Okay. 49-45. And still, as we thought, guys, Zhang Weili retains the belt. Yeah, she retains the belt. Deservedly so. Yan Xiaonan made a good account of herself. Zhang Weili goes over to give her a hug. Plenty of love between those two fighters, both warriors. There's some Chinese fans on screen loving this. Post-fight interview now. Tatiana Suarez. I'll share what she's saying. Zhang shows love to Yan and says she would like to be good friends with her after the fight. Yeah, Tatiana Suarez, former champ, is probably the best wrestler in the UFC out of the women. She came back after that really horrible injury in 2019, so she had a 4-year layoff. Came back to win via guillotine against Montana De La Rosa. Then got another guillotine against Jessica Andrade and is the number 2 contender in the division. So Zhang versus Tatiana is the fight to make. Without doubt, I think. Would you guys agree? She had a fight with Amanda Lemos. Cancelled. I think that was due to due to injury. I think she had another injury. I hope it wasn't a recurrence of that long-term injury that kept her out. Yeah, Suarez withdrew. Doesn't say why, but she's had some really bad luck with injuries. Marina and Jessica Andrade was fun, close fight. Yeah, I totally missed that. But Jessica Andrade set the record for most wins out of the female fighters. The thing about Andrade, you have to say, she always comes to fight and she can finish people. Something you can't say of all the fighters in that division. We don't see as many finishes in the women's strawweight division as we do in a lot of the men's divisions, because a lot of the women don't have as much power, but Jessica Andrade certainly does. She can finish you. The champ, Tom Aspinall on the screen, Jorge Masvidal, Dricus du Plessis. Pretty star-studded, as you can imagine, UFC 300. Marcus, I want to say a massive thank you for joining me. I'm going to go hang out with the family and check out the main event. It's been really fun. We should do it again. Enjoy the main event, man. It's been good chatting with you. To the rest of you, have a good one. Oh, what does he have to say? I learned in an interview Andrade and Marina have same management. Interesting. Also trained. Brazilian connection. I learned a few things today. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate the comments. Have a good one, man. See you on the next one. And for the rest of you, see you guys later.